there folks, I'm back with part 2 of Build a Wreath using some, I'm sure they're spellbinder stamps. So I originally started doing this on the previous video if you've watched it, and I got the idea of this piece, which is a sort of, not a full wreath, but then you have separate stamps on this, and I thought I would try and create a full wreath using them. So I filled a few places in off camera and it's starting to take shape. The only bit I don't like is this, because I don't know what I did, I smudged it or something, but I'm sure I can sort that somehow. So we've got these individual stamps that are the same really as these that are on the sort of cluster of flowers here. So I've been infilling some more, but I've still got some to put in, so I thought I'd bring it back onto video. And I've got this floral rose, so I think I might try and pop that in as well somewhere. I feel up here, because this bit doesn't have quite as much going on, so I thought if I just pop that in somewhere, I could even do it there, just to kind of give it some more of the parts being filled in. So I'm going to make sure I've got my hole at the top, which is where I usually call that the top, and I'm just going to lift that up, and it's now where I want it to be, and hopefully I can move it round. So just using VersaFine fast drying pigment ink, which is for fine details in onyx black, and it dries really quickly and doesn't tend to bleed or smudge. So just popping that bit on there, see what that looks like. Yeah, it's quite nice. And then turning it round, this is the beauty of this, you can turn it round and put it somewhere else. It might look quite nice. I'm not sure about this. Before you actually move it to maybe a different place on the outside. I wonder if I can pop something in there to fill that bit. Yes, let's do that. I mean, you don't have to use a stamp wheel, but I just think it's good because you can keep the stamp on and just move the top plate around and play about with things without having to move the stamp. So obviously there's lots of other things you can do with this stamp wheel as well. So press that down a bit because it didn't quite, I think I need a wee bit more ink. So just pop some more on, just making sure it's covered. Better, and just hovering. No, that's not the right bit. Get it in there, that's it. That's better. So it's starting to feel a bit more. There's a bit up here which I'm going to move the stamp this time, but you can go obviously round the whole design. I mean, you could do a line of these using this. It doesn't have to be a wreath, it was just I like wreaths, and also because I had done that other knock full wreath. So let's see if I can move it round again. I might be able to get one somewhere in there, maybe. Let's see what else. No, that's more or less back to the start, isn't it? Possibly in there I could get one. Let's see, it's not quite. Don't want to put too many at one bit. No, I think I'm going to take it off and I'm going to just pop it here, and I'm just going to put this back to the top and pick that up, and then I can do one there and maybe somewhere else as well. So back to the top, just, yeah, that looks good. Let's see if we can pop it anywhere else. Will it go in there or around here somewhere? Yes, that'll go around there somewhere. So let's just put a wee bit more ink on. And then let's just see where it was going to go in around here. There we go. That's fine. Well, that's starting to look a wee bit more circular instead of looking like it's all to one side. Let's see if we can get another one somewhere. I was hoping to have got one there, but that's not going to work anywhere else. That's too far up. No, I think that's all I'm going to get. I might just put it in here because I did need to move it, and that's absolutely fine. But just to fill that wee bit of a gap in there, I can just put one in there, and then we can see if we're happy with that, and then we can decide what we're going to do next. So yeah, I think that there is a bit of something missing there. Let's see if we can maybe pop it in the top here as well, just to even it off a little bit. Somewhere, maybe there, or I think here would work that way. So I'm just going to turn it to the top again, my place. Make sure I've got that on the right way, because sometimes I put it down the wrong way. It's silly of me. I don't know why I do that, but I do. So let's just have that there. There we go. That's a wee bit better. There's still some spaces here, so what I might want to do is just take this flower off and pop in this nice sort of leaf here. It's quite big, but I could just do half of it, if you see what I mean, ink up half of it, so it's kind of coming out of there, or it's kind of coming out of here. So I think that's what we'll do. So we'll start with that bit there, and I'll lift up. So I only want to do the first part of that stamp, because I don't want the whole thing, because it will overlap bits that I don't want overlap. So I'll just do that part there, and hopefully that will be enough. Slightly too much, so I'm just going to take that off, that piece there off, and just have that part at the top done in there, and then just pop it down, see what it looks like. And yeah, that's okay. It does. We probably could have done it a bit further down, but I've not. So let's see where else we can put it. What about, I wonder if I can do it down or up here, any of these bits. I have to move it. I think I need to move it just a bit. So I'll just clean that off just now, and I'll pop it down, I think here, like that, and I'll use my hole as my guide for that, and then I'm only going to bring it sort of to here, because I don't want to cover over these nice roses, so it's a bit harder with a bigger ink pad. Probably a smaller ink spot would be better, but I don't have one, so let's just see. I think that's still going to go over, so just get rid of these couple of bits at the side. here because we don't want them. That's better. And then we're going to pop it on like that. And then that fills that kind of area. And I think I ought to leave it just like that, because I think if I start doing any more, it will just might disappear. Let's see, I have got a smaller branch I could use here actually to just do a few more wee bits of infill. So there's a bit here which we could kind of make that come out there. So we'll just do that as well, because there are a few wee spaces and I wanted to try and just fill up these little spaces. So we'll just put that there and that will fill up a space. And let's see where else we can pop that one. So let's see if we can add another one just there. Yeah, that'll work, I think. So pick that up and just ink it again and press that down. And that's fine. Yeah, that looks good. Just give this a wee wipe again. Right, let me see. Let's see if we can add one here as well. So just kind of coming in behind the rose like that. Pick it up, ink it up. And then drop it back down. So onto there. And there we go. Yeah, that's looking better. It's actually looking a bit like a heart shape, isn't it? Well, I think it is anyway. And perhaps I'll just add one more floral in at the bottom here. Let me see. Let's just add this floral. Or is that too big? That's quite big. Let's try this one. That one would work. Oh. It doesn't stick to my fingers anyway. That'll work. So just popping that in at the bottom and anywhere else that might need it. So that just fills that space up as well. And there's a couple of bits around here. I don't know if we can get some in here. Let's see. Or maybe no. No, I'm gonna have to, I think, move it. I'm gonna have to move that one as well. So just that piece there, we can infill that with that piece. And another little. So you can see how it builds up and how you can build it up just by moving it round or keeping it in on the same position but moving the wheel round. That was okay. It's not worked quite how I wanted. And then another piece, just I think another one of something just here would finish off. Let's see if we can just pop. That's too big. Let's just pop one of these wee buds in here, just there. And that will fill that piece in as well. So just pop that on there and pop that in like that. Don't stick it on this. And that just fills that up. Let's see if we can do that anywhere else. No. With it in that position. any other areas. That might be another area there. That might work. Is it going to go in there? Yeah, let's do one in there, and then that's us. We will definitely be finished stamping then, apart from actually the sentiment that's going to go into the middle. So let's just, we had that, didn't we? Just there. That's fine. Didn't seem to work. Let's just see, why didn't that work? I don't know. Weird. I don't know why that didn't work. Let's see if we can get it back in there. If we can. I don't know why that didn't go in. Let's just pop that in. And that mark's still there, but I don't know, I can maybe do something with it colour wise, I'm not sure. There we go. Should work now. Yeah, that's it. Right, so that's all I'm going to do florally. So you recognise that that's more filled in. Now there is a couple of sentiments here called Thinking of You, I Miss Being Around You. So I think I'm going to put in the Thinking of You because it's probably something that I would give to a friend or somebody that's going through something. Now, there's a bit of a mark there, so I was going to try and hide it, but I don't think I'll be able to. So, just get that into position. Start with the hole at the top as your marker. Pick that up and just using the same ink and just turning it round and popping it in there, and there we go. That's nice. I think that's nice. So now we can come to the colouring part. So there's lots of different ways you could colour it. You could colour it by markers. You could use blending brushes. You could, and inks, coloured inks. You could just do lots of stuff. You could even leave it just as is if you wanted. So I'm going to take it off of here now, of this stamping wheel, because I don't really need to use that anymore. And if I can get my stamping wheel off my mat, I'll pop that down, put that to the side, and to put some alcohol on that to get it off, I think. So if I get my as I say, it's nice like that. It is really nice like that. So so what I thought I would just do is going to just do some blending with some of my smaller brushes and some of my Distress Oxides. So I've got saltwater taffy, and I'm going to use that on some of the roses. And I've got these smaller blending brushes that I got from Amazon. I can't remember what they were called or anything, but they're just a wee bit smaller, so you can get into a bit of, you know, you can just go into small areas instead of using a larger brush. And I'm just going to do the bigger roses, a bit like that. And I don't mind that it kind of goes over the edge of the excuse me, the outline of the actual rose. This is fine. Excuse me. No, I'll try and do one more to just even it a bit somewhere. I'll just do that one. There we go. That just is a nice soft colour, just to lighten them up. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough for some reason. Now I'll bring you down slightly so that you can just see me colouring. Excuse me. So I'm now going to go for some squeezed lemonade for some of the other roses. So pick a different brush to do this, slightly smaller this one. So you do get a range of bigger brushes and then smaller and really tiny ones. So just go over that rose and that one. Oh dear, excuse me. This one here. Golly. And let me think. Maybe this one as well. So that's fine. And then we're going to add another rose colour, which is going to be, let me think, ripe persimmon. So I'm just get another wee brush for that as well. And we'll just do one of the other roses. Blend that a bit. Go. I think that looks cool. Hope you do. I'll do another one. Let's do another one. This one, maybe. Yep. Fine. And then I think we've got another rose that we could do. So let's do. Where did this come from? Not there anyway. We use this time. We use pet raspberry. Let's do pet raspberry. And I'll get a different one again. I don't want to. So there's a really small one of these brushes. They're quite, but there is a smaller one than that. So they are good for doing more detailed things. If you want to do that. And this one. I'm just doing it in a circular movement to just kind of cover the rose shape, but then if there's a wee bit on the outside, it doesn't really matter. I'm not being too precious about that at all. Just let's just do that one as well. And I might do that one, that colour. I know I'd coloured it already, but I could come back with some of the saltwater taffy for that other one because it's kind of disappeared. So where is it? Here we are. So let's just do that one in saltwater taffy. Like that. I'll just go over some of these other ones that are in the same. There go. And we've got a couple of the buds as well. So now before I do the buds, I've got some of these, this nice Swiss citron, which I could use on some of these very lightly. Some of these greenery bits. As I say, I don't mind that I'm kind of going over. I'm not being too precious about. I'm going over the edges. Turn it round actually. Just to give it a wee bit of colour and just different. I don't want to try something a wee bit different. And then what I might do is, I've not done the wee buds, but that's okay. I can do them with, where are they? Abandoned coral. Let's do them with that. I'll use this tiny wee brush again. I'll just do a couple of these buds. Where were they? They were just in there, weren't they? There's one there. One there. That's fine. And then, now what I'm thinking is I might just spray it and see what happens. See if the inks move a bit. Like that. Yep, they do. I think that moves it quite well. There we go. And where's my extra piece of paper? Not that bit. There's an extra piece that I was going to use to fill it back. Piece here in my box of tricks. There, that's an envelope. Not quite the right size, but let's just do this. Pull that back. Pull that back a wee bit more. And a wee bit more. And then you get that sort of look. So I need to get my heat gun just to dry that off. So bear with me as I get the heat gun. Put it here, I just need to plug it in. Oh, don't fall down. Right, come on. Just plugging it in. There, that should work now. Oh, I'm just going to dry that off because that's the kind of look I was hoping for. Oh, it's very wet. Very, very wet indeed. Oh, I do like it. And that was just, I think it was just a piece of normal card. It wasn't a piece of watercolour, or it wasn't the mixed media paper. It was just a normal piece of card. And I just like the way that it's, because I soaked it so much, I just like the way that it's come out. Unfortunately, that big splodge of black does spoil it, but it's just unfortunate. I can't really do much about that. So I'll turn it over and dry it on this side. And I'll dry my desk because it's all covered in water. And just dry this up. And just keep drying it. You can see how the water has penetrated. If you look there, you can see how the water's penetrated round that rose Distress Oxide inks, and also round the ink. Now it is curling up, but that's fine. I can easily flatten that. And I think because I've soaked it so much, it looks like a bit more like tissue-like paper. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's come out. So there we are. It's still wet, still a bit wet. So, I mean, there's a lot more I could do to that. I could then add some of these Ohuhu blends if I wanted, because there's a couple of bits here where it's got the yellow insides of the daisies, so they could get coloured in alcohol pens, and you could just get that wee yellow centre. Obviously it'd be better if it's dry because my paper isn't quite dry, but it was just to show you what else you can add. So it's more of a mixed media type thing. And we've got this one which is cool grey, so that's the nearest probably to white I think I'll get. So just going to add a few wee bits on the daisies just so that it gives it a bit more pronunciation, and it just doesn't look like they're kind of doing nothing there. But that is definitely a wee grey, so it just gives it a wee bit of, you can see a wee bit more there, and they fade into the background. Not that it matters, well, I didn't do these ones with yellow, I didn't see them. Right, let's get that yellow back. Where was it? Was it this one? I think it was. So using the fine side, not the bigger side. There's a bit up there as well. I hadn't quite got, I think I've got most of them now. There's a bit there as well. So it's not like you need to keep to one medium. You can do a few bits and bobs. So as I say, that's still quite wet. I can go over it with the black as well, because there's some bits of the flowers which could be doing a wee bit extra black in there, just that bit there, just to kind of, so I'm just doing a few wee dots where that already is, where you can already see that kind of area, and keeping the centre one just pale, not black. I'm not blackening it. Same here, there's a bit there, and it just brings out all of the detail that the stamp's made a bit more. I'll turn that back round here. just filling that all in to make it look a bit more realistic, and also just because I've gone over it in Distress Oxides and covered it because they're not opaque. There we go. So that kind of brings that out a bit more again so they don't get too lost. And then you can actually splatter it as well with some, you can even just get a water brush, like this, or you can get your Wink of Stella and you can put a little bit of something like in the background, whether you want it to be kind of more subtle or you want it to be in your face, it just doesn't matter. So I think I am going to use ice spruce for this, and all I do is I pop it onto the side here and I use my water brush just to wet it, and then I would just find something like a block to just add a few splatters, get some more on. That just creates more texture. You can see that there. And then you can do the same, exactly the same with your Wink of Stella brush or your glitter brush. It just adds a little bit of glitter to it, really. So there we go. Probably didn't see me do that, but I added some glitter to that, and then you can do exactly the same with that as well, and you get a mix of glitter in that, definitely. Good. So I'll dry this off again. I'll just get a wipe. Maybe I won't get a wipe, maybe I'll just add it to here, because I know that some people think, oh, don't waste the ink, but maybe I could use this wee bit of ink. So I've wiped it up and I've got that background which is shimmery, and yes, so I'm going to give this another wee dry. So if you don't want to hear the dryer, put the sound down. So now I need to get a wee base, which is just down here. I think, yep. Get it out of the packaging. I think I've got a couple there, but that's okay. And we might need to cut. Yeah, I think we're going to have to cut a wee bit. So, a very small piece here we can chop off. No, it's still a bit wet, so it will just chop a wee bit from the top as well. And let's see how that's going to work. I think that might work. Still a bit wet, as I said. And there's one more thing I do want to do with the stamps, wherever I put them. Where did I put them? I think they're under here. No, they're not under here. Oh, they're here. So what I thought, I'd just make another little bit to go across here. So it's just going to be these two stamps. So I'll just let that dry off. And I've got this piece of paper here. And I want to just pop, I'll just do this on a block. I'm not going to do it with the stamp wheel. Where's the block? There's a block here. Hopefully that'll fit. Yep. So all I want to do on this piece of paper here is just add these two. And then I'm just going to quickly cut around them and make them a bit of a topper, I think. So, scissors. I'm just going to, right, let me see, get that off. So I'm thinking, will I colour them in? No, I'm just going to cut around it very quickly. Might just cut around the flower. Oh. Very, very quickly. I'm just leaving a wee border as well. I'm sorry, the video is kind of going on a bit, isn't it? Oh, I'll just cut that whole piece out there just to make it easier. Just cut in a bit more to that bit. Off at the end, and I thought I just might pop that on somewhere to hide this. Like that. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to pop that on, and I suppose I could just quickly colour it in. Not with that. I'll just do it with the what was left of the yellow, like that. And a wee bit off the twisted citron as well, like that. And then I'm just going to pop it onto, where are they? Up here. Pop it onto a foam pad, and I can hide that piece that was a bit of a mess, and just pop that there. Hide that in there, and then when it's dry it will fit onto that card base at the bottom, and we could add some lovely little gems. We might as well when we're here. I need to find the pokey tool first though. Where are you? Here we go, and your video will finish soon. It's at 43 minutes. Oh golly. I don't usually go that long, but it seems I have. Right, here's some nice little gems here. Where are they? I saw them a minute ago. No, it wasn't those. These. So let's just pop a couple of these on. One there. One there. Here, and I might do a few more. One's on it, that's not even one from there. Just leave that then. One here somewhere, here, and one number 5 we'll just put over here. Okay, so that'll be my card when it's dry. I need to finish drying off, but that'll be it when I've mounted it onto my card base. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the second part of the stamp wheel, and thanks so much for staying with me if you've stayed with me. Don't forget, tomorrow's live is a craft along. If you have a look at my community page, or if you go on to my Handmade by Shirley on Instagram, you'll see what you need for the craft along at 4:30 tomorrow. So thanks so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.